Okay, here we are. Hello everyone. I am going to be filming my Q&A. I have never done a Q&A before, and to be honest, when I was like gathering all the questions that you guys sent, I started feeling a little bit overwhelmed just to realize that there's real live people that want to know things about me. I was a little overwhelmed, but I'm so thankful for everyone who submitted a question. I can't believe it. So I don't know how long this is gonna be. I have a lot of questions. I have broken them up into categories to kind of like make this video kind of have some cohesion. So they're on my computer right here. Oh, I should also say I didn't save any usernames because there were so many questions. I had to organize them, and so I don't have your username to share, so I'm sorry, but I hope that I do answer your question if you submitted one. So I made Booktube questions, and then I made book questions, and then personal life questions, and then faith questions. So we'll see how long it takes. Just know that I'm gonna be a little awkward in this video because I feel awkward. So here we go. Okay, question one is, what inspired you to start your own YouTube channel? I first started watching all of the makeup beauty videos that are out there, and I was obsessed. And I actually was really into makeup at one point, and like I thought about doing it as a side job. Like I was very into it, and I started a makeup channel when I was 17. I don't think any of my makeup videos are live because I'm on the same channel that I had. I had a completely different YouTube name and just, yeah. And then I discovered Booktube, and a fire was ignited in me, because before Booktube I already liked to read. Like I already knew that I liked reading, so it was like natural for me to just talk about the books that I was reading, and it stuck. Like I love this so much. Booktube is my place. I love making book videos. So yeah, my first video for Booktube was my favorite books of the year, I think, of 2015. So I uploaded my first video at the beginning of 2016. And then I have made videos fairly consistently ever since then. Okay, next question. What's your favorite part of doing YouTube? I love that doing YouTube makes me excited to read. And I love that YouTube has given me like a positive outlet to express myself and to like be myself in a way that I don't get to be in real life, because rarely anyone in real life, actually my family's pretty good, I don't get to like gush about books like I do here. And so this is a perfect place for me to share my love of books, and it's really fun. So yeah, but I honestly love all of it. Like every aspect of YouTube, I like it. What's the best / worst thing about being on Booktube is the next question. What's the best thing about Booktube? I kind of already talked about it. Like it's my favorite part is just like sharing my love of books somewhere, and it's like a way for me to get that out and to feel like I have something that I love that can like grow and is always new because there's always new books. I love it. The worst part, I guess, is feeling like I can't do anything but books. And I wouldn't say that's like the worst part. Like I'm not sad about it, and I don't wish that I could do other book things, but there's a couple times where I'm like, does anyone care about this? Like when I upload a certain video, I'm like, people only want the books, right? Like, should I just not upload this? Along with that, is it better or worse or just different than you expected it to be? Booktube, you know what? It's actually as good as I thought it would be. I saw Booktube and I was like, that must be the most fun thing to do. And it really is for me. I love this. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers or Booktubers I'll talk about? I have never made a video about this, and I probably should. I don't have great editing, okay? Like I use iMovie on my phone because I don't have a MacBook to edit on, so I use the iMovie app on my phone to edit. And I have not figured out how or if this is even an option to overlay pictures over my video. I don't have that option, and it really sucks because I wish I could overlay a picture of a book. I will try to link all of the channels down below. I do like Books and Lala, Books and Jams. I like her channel. Celestria, Chantal at An Intentional Life, Christian Faith and Fiction, Haley in Bookland, Lovely Day with Holly, The Curly Reader, I've been into her videos. Thoughts on Tomes, I like her. Vicky's Book Nook, I like her too. Those are the ones that I can see and think of right now. What has been the most rewarding thing about having this YouTube channel so far? I feel like I have, because I've stayed myself and I've made videos that I like, that I'm proud of, that I have not pretended to be something I'm not. Not that I'm saying anyone else does that, but there's a potential. When you know you're being recorded, you could put on a personality or a whatever that you want people to see. And I have really tried to stay true to myself. Because of that, I have semi-unintentionally included faith-related videos into my channel that means so much to me now, and I'm so proud of them, and I've seen God use them. And to think that I've influenced someone that I've never met because of my faith is the most rewarding thing about this YouTube channel, and I'm so honored that I get to be a part of that. And I truly feel like God has blessed me here. And so yeah, it feels really good, and I'm just so thankful that I get to do this. So those were like the Booktube questions, and now we're kind of into book questions. Someone asked, what is the most amount of books you've ever read in a year, and do you think you will beat it next year or this year? And I brought up Goodreads. I think it's 166. So in 2018, I read 163 books. And that is the most that I've ever read, and I have not surpassed that since. 2018 was the year of books for me. I was reading all the time, and I read really fast, and I read as much as I could, and that was the year that I read 163 books. I have not really come close to that since, and I don't plan to read that much. I actually have been slowly going down since then. I slowly built up, and then I slowly am building down. So in 2019, I read 130 books. In 2020, I read 120 books. And so in 2021, I plan to read 100, and we'll see if I surpass that, but 100 has always been the goal. So someone asked, how do I read so much? And it's a combination of things. I have thought about this. I'm like, yeah, how do I read so much? And honestly, I think the number one thing is I skim read a lot. I don't actually read every word. And maybe that discounts me as a reader now, but like if the book is really good, yes, I read every word. But if there's a boring part, I'll skim it. And I have gotten really good at not missing things in my skimming, so I actually still feel like I know the story and I'm reading the story, but I just like skip over the extra bits as I read, and that allows me to read a lot. So I think that's the main thing, honestly, because I don't actually read every day other than the Bible. I used to read every day, and so that's how I read so much. But I think the more you read too, the better you get. And so I am able to skim read and still know what the story is. And then I choose to read over other things. I am not a huge TV person. I don't really enjoy sitting down and watching Netflix. I would rather read a book or watch YouTube. Also, I read a fair amount of ebooks, and I find ebooks are quicker to read because you just scroll, and again, it's easier to skim read as you scroll. So I think that's how I read so much. Next question is, how do you manage everything, like reading, work, and yourself? I have gotten better at this over the years. I definitely have not been good at taking care of myself. I think, like, honestly, reading has been at the top, and then work, and then myself, and that is not a healthy thing. Like, reading did become an idol at one point. Actually, probably in the 2018 year. Like, God showed me that reading was an idol and books were an idol. And so I had to address that and get it right in my heart. I did not feel that God wanted me to stop YouTube or stop reading altogether, but he made me aware that it was becoming an idol. So I had to take books off of the throne of my life, and I had to really put my spiritual life and Jesus first again. So that's always the priority. So now I feel like I'm in a good balance where it's Jesus, taking care of myself, work, and then books. So I think that's why I'm reading less, because I don't have as much time, because I'm actually spending time doing other things that I need to do. So next question, how do your family and friends react to your book reading? And they are fine with it because I've kind of established myself as the reader of the group. My family knows that I make these videos and they know that I love to read, so they're totally fine with it. Otherwise, I don't like advertise that I read a lot and that I make YouTube videos, so no one else really knows and it doesn't really affect anything. Next question, do you have any written works of your own or are you only a reader? I have written stories before, like in school and stuff, and I used to really like making up stories, but it slowly just not interested me. The thing I think I could see myself doing is writing nonfiction. I started a blog at one point, but I did not keep it up. But for the season that I had it, it was so therapeutic and exactly what I needed. I would just like type out my thoughts. And so I would consider doing something like that, but actually thinking up a story in my head, no, I don't have any interest in being an author like that. Okay, the next question. When you were a kid, what was your favorite book or books? I was huge into horses when I was a kid. So I read a lot of horse books, Pony Pals, The Saddle Club. I also read Animal Arc. I loved Animal Arc. And then I did pull some of my favorite books. On top of horses, I also loved unicorns. And I don't have them here with me, but there's a book series called The Unicorns of Valinor that I just ate right up. I loved it. And then also, I really liked this book, A Gathering of Unicorns. I barely even remember what it's about, but I just remember loving it. So, and then for a while, I said this was my favorite book ever. It's called The Perfect Pony. And I have such fond memories of this book. I think I was like 10 when I was reading this, and I loved it. So it's about this girl who gets a pony, I'm pretty sure. And I wanted a horse for myself so badly, but it never happened. And then I was really into the Breadwinner series, Parvana's Journey and Mud City. I think this is the first book. But yeah, animal books were my big love. And then later on, I did fall in love with the Babysitter's Club, and I read almost every book. Like, what genre do you read the most? I probably guess I would say any type of Christian fiction. If it's Christian, I will read it, basically. I feel like I switch it up a lot-ish, you know? So I don't know. Why do you enjoy Christian fiction? Because faith and Jesus mean a lot to me. They're the most important thing to me. And so reading about different stories of Christians living their life for Jesus really encourages me. I kind of seek to learn more about life and how to live and learn more about Jesus and God, just to be encouraged to keep on living. That's why I like it, I think. Okay, into the really hard book questions. Someone asked, what is your favorite book of all time? And then also, what's your favorite Christian nonfiction book of all time? And then also, what's your favorite Christian fiction book of all time? So here we go. I pulled 5 books. Wait a second. So I pulled my favorite books. These aren't all of them, but this is my stack. And I actually don't own one that I would have in this stack. But okay, so the 2 nonfictions, my 2 favorite nonfictions of all time are In the Grip of Grace and What If It's True. Both of these books taught me a lot. One of the things I struggle to believe is that God will love me no matter what, which is pretty basic, but it's true. And so this book just confirms that we are in his grip of grace and nothing can take us from that. And then What If It's True just talks about so many Christian life and theological topics in such a Jesus way, in my opinion, that I agree with basically everything that he says. And it's just a good reminder that we are on the winning side, but then also that we are in the process of sanctification, which means God is constantly working on our hearts to make us more like Jesus. And so this book just is an encouragement for that. Okay, then these are my favorite fiction books. My favorite book of all time, I can't pick. It's one of these. So take a look. This is it. Each one of these books has spoken to my heart. It has brought me closer to God. It has rescued me from a time that I was struggling, and so forever these books will have a special place in my heart. I will list them down below, but I have actually made a video where I talked about all of these books, so I will try to remember to link that down below too. Next question, what are the best Christian fiction books for beginners to get into the genre? That is a good question. It depends what kind of Christian fiction you want to read. If you want to get into romance, I would say read Becky Wade. I think she writes really good romances. Also Susan May Warren writes great romances. If you want to get into like just general life, kind of more hard-hitting things, which actually is another question, what hard-hitting contemporary Christian books do you recommend? Francine Rivers is really good at writing hard-hitting books, and they always just contain God in them. In my opinion, I see God in her writing. And The Chauffeur Blue is one that was hard for me to read because it talks about Christians and how twisted we can get when we start getting a little self-righteous and lose sight of what Jesus has done for us. And Charles Martin also writes pretty hard-hitting books, and they're not outrightly Christian, but they all have Christian morality in them. Sometimes they do have Christianity in them. This one does. So I would recommend him as well for like more hard-hitting stuff. Okay, so another person asked, if you had to pick only one genre to read for the rest of your life, which genre would you choose? I have come to really value books that explore and display the heart of the Father for us, and I really value it. So I couldn't live without them. I think they are very important for my faith journey, so I would have to say Christian, hard-hitting, contemporary books. And for something lighthearted, I'd probably pick either YA sci-fi or YA dystopian. One of those. Do you annotate books is another question. Not fiction books, rarely. Nonfiction, yes, I will underline quotes that I really like. Those are the book questions. Some of them I didn't answer because I'm actually gonna make a video about them. So like someone asked what my top 10 books of all time are. I should just make that video, you know? So if I didn't answer your question, it's because I intend to make a whole separate video for it. So the first question is, how old are you? So as of January 2021, I am 27 years old. I was born in 1993, November, and so 28 is approaching, but not, it's far off, so we're fine. We're fine. Next question, do you have any siblings? Yes, I have 3 younger siblings. I am the oldest. Next, what made you most want to become a teacher? Another question was, when did you decide that you wanted to become a teacher? So, teacher talk, yes. I have wanted to be a teacher almost my whole life. Like since I was 10-ish, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I have regretted that at some time, but in general, I love learning and I love sharing that excitement with people. I love expressing my interest in topics and like really diving deep into a topic. I thought I can share this with kids and make them love it too and show them that learning can be fun and that it's so useful for life. And I just loved the idea of teaching. And then once I got into my teaching program, I truly felt that I was in the center of God's purpose for me being in that program. It was crazy. Like it was truly a spiritual experience. I was like, I am exactly where God wants me. Being in this program is exactly what he wants me to be doing. And so knowing that, I was like, I have a calling on my life to be a teacher. I just believe it. And so that just solidified it. I'm like, I am meant to be a teacher. So that's where I'm at. I've definitely questioned it over the years. And I think because it feels like it's a calling from God, when it's hard, it feels a little personal. Like it feels like, God, why would you ask me to do this? It's so hard, you know? So that's where the doubt comes in, but I can't deny that I believe he has called me to do this. So next question is, what grade do you teach? Right now I'm teaching grade 5-6, and technically it is a continuing position, so I could be teaching this for the rest of my life if I wanted to. So we'll see. I don't know. I had one person ask what my thoughts are for public versus Christian versus homeschool. And I think it comes down to pray about it. Ask God where He wants your kids to be. And that's what I'm going to do, because I have gone in every direction. I started with, public for sure. And then I went to Christian. And now I'm like, maybe homeschool, actually. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I would be open to all three. So I think it's truly just where you feel God is. Next question, what are your favorite TV shows? Like I said, I don't really watch TV actively right now, but in the past it has been Castle, Stranger Things. Do you have any other hobbies besides reading? That is the question, isn't it? I really like cooking. Is that a hobby? It's kind of a necessity to life, but I enjoy it, so you could say that's a hobby. Health and fitness and exercise are definitely a hobby. I really enjoy being active. So walking, running, weightlifting, hiking, any active thing. And I'm actually gonna say journaling, because it feels like a hobby and I really love it. I love journaling. Next question, what's your favorite animal? It's a horse. I love horses. I think they're beautiful and I would be a horse if I could. But my second favorite is probably dogs. Next question, where is the farthest you have traveled, and do you have any travel dreams for after the pandemic? The farthest I've gone is Florida in the United States. My next place I want to go is Nashville, actually, because I have a really dear friend that lives there, and he and his wife are expecting a baby, and so I would love to go travel and see them and see their baby. I've never been there before, so that is the next big place I want to go. Next question, do you sing or play any instruments? No, I am not a good singer. I don't have good vocals at all. I think I can sing in key, but even then I don't know if I do. And then playing instruments, I grew up playing piano, but I've lost most of my skill, and I know the basics of guitar. One of my dreams, maybe even for this year, is to get a piano so that I can practice again, because I was like learning real notes, like it wasn't just chords. So that was a great skill and I wish that I had kept up with it, but I just was not in the space to do that. Okay, on to the faith questions. We're almost done. Do you have any advice for content creators who want to start sharing their faith? I guess it depends if you want your channel to be just a faith channel or if you are like a book channel and you're putting faith in it as well. For the just a faith channel, pray about every video you do. Ask God for video ideas, ask God to be in your channel, and it's tricky. With a faith exclusive channel, I feel like you have to be very careful to make it about glorifying God and not about growth. It's a slippery slope. I don't really know. That's why I know I couldn't do it. So that's that. But if you have a Booktube channel and you want to start including faith, talk about the Christian books that you read, talk about the books of the Bible that you're reading, and then ask God to give you ideas, to tell you what He thinks you should do. I have prayed before about video ideas. I've prayed about what He wants me to say, if there's anything that I am like learning about Him that I should share. And that's where all of my Christian videos have come from. That's why I don't do it super often, because it's truly just like feeling it in the moment and not like forcing it. So next question, how old were you when you gave your heart to Jesus? I was raised in a Christian home, so I've always believed in Jesus, but I remember I was pretty young. I was probably 5 or 6 when I remember going into our playroom and sitting and looking out at the window and saying, God, will you come into my heart? Next question is favorite book of the Bible. Hebrews, at this point, will always be my favorite book because it met me in a time where I needed God to show up, and He did. And now it kind of always is the book that I go to if I'm feeling in a funky place, if I have forgotten faith in some way. If I read Hebrews, I remember God again, and He meets me every time. So Hebrews is very special to me. I actually have a video on my channel talking about Hebrews, so I will link it down below if I remember. Next question, do you have a quiet time throughout your day? If so, what is your quiet time routine? On work days, my alarm goes off, I wake up, and I read the YouVersion Bible app. I always have some sort of reading plan going. This year I am reading the Bible in a year, so I am on a reading plan that is reading through the Bible. So I'm in Genesis, and so I read that in the morning. Then I get up, get ready for work, and then as I'm eating breakfast, I will read whatever other plan I have going. I usually have more than one plan going, so I do that. Sometimes I'll read my actual Bible if I'm just feeling like I need to do that. And then all throughout the day, I am praying. Like, I am like, God help me. You know, work is hard, so I have to have Jesus with me. There are times when, like, if I go to the bathroom, I will pray about the day. So yeah, like, I'm always talking to God in the day. And then at night, that is when I journal. So I will read the Bible, my physical Bible, whatever spot I'm in, and I will journal about it. I will pray. I will write out my prayers. That's kind of my more focused time with God, is at night, and that's when I journal. And I truly do that because I have to, because I go crazy so easily. Like, my brain, I'm an overthinker, and I stew on things, and I turn sour really easily. So I have to have the Holy Spirit in me to keep me straight. So next question, if you could meet one person in the Bible, who would it be besides Jesus? I didn't think about this. Okay, it would either be Disciple John or Mary and Martha. Yes. Maybe Paul. Eve. That would be good. I'd want to meet Eve. David. I would love to meet David. Last two, guys. What's your favorite Christian song and artist/band? My favorite Christian song, I've always said, is The Stand by Hillsong United. And I think I would still say that. I love that song. It says everything that I want to say. And my favorite artist/band, my favorite artist is Carrie Job. My favorite band, that's a tough one. Hillsong United, I think. I do love Elevation Worship as well. I really like For King and Country. I love Mercy Me. Ooh, Mercy Me. Yeah. And the last question, have you ever been a part of a discipleship program? No, I have never gone to Bible school. I've never done any kind of like missions trip or any kind of discipleship, anything. I've been part of Bible camps, but that's as much as I've done. Okay, so there are the questions. I don't know how that went. I stumbled over my words a lot, and there was a lot of pauses and a lot of like just thinking and pondering. And I don't know if I got through every question. I hope I didn't skip any, but if I did, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching this whole thing. If you did, it's totally fine if you skip through. I don't mind. And I don't know how long this is, so thank you for watching how long it is. I've been recording for 1 hour and 4 minutes. It is 5 o'clock at night right now. So have a great day, you guys. I don't know when this is going up, but I hope that your January is going well. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.